We like him. We don't want to let him go.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you for all that.
Call to order. Welcome everyone to the June 8th, 2021 Manchester Town Council meeting. We will start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chief has a pressing engagement tonight, so we're going to move him up in the order. Chief?
Thank you, sir. For the police report, for the month of May, we handled 211 events. That includes citizen calls, dispatch calls, calls into the station, interview incidents, etc. 145 were calls for service. 27 of those were calls for outside of town, assisting the sheriff's department and the Hampstead Police Department. We investigated 2 Part 1 crimes, both of them involved minor theft. One was unfounded, and the second one involves a stolen flower pot. We haven't found the pot or the perpetrator for that incident yet, but we are still looking at it. The other 2 incidents, both of them were assaults. Both of them were cleared. We did have a minor incident down in Spargo's at the bar down, what's it called, down?
2 doors down.
Apparently a large fight broke out inside the bar. We're still investigating the facts there. It apparently had gone on for quite some time before the police department was notified. And then we did end up making an arrest out of that incident. So we did have 6 persons being criminally charged for the month. 2 were for assault, 3 for traffic-related charges, 1 for DUI and CDS charges, and sadly but true, 1 for a handgun violation and CDS charges. Both of them were from Hanover, PA, and they were heading down towards Baltimore, Maryland. We do have the gun. We're still trying to trace the gun. We can't find ownership of the gun, so we got ATF on board with us trying to track the gun down to who actually owned the gun. Our traffic enforcement continues. We're going to continue to be pretty aggressive about it. We have issued 255 warning, citation, and repair orders. 5 of which resulted in criminal charges. And again, I'm asking the town residents to work with us, slow down. The kids are about to get out of school. People have been cooped up, they're out on the streets, and our residents are continuing to blow stop signs and speed in the neighborhoods. So I'm asking for the residents to work with us and slow down. All of our kids are out there playing, and my grandchildren. Countywide, year to date, the stats, for the heroin overdose and the drug problem that we're having in the county is still 11% increase in total compared to last year. So far, we have 178 cases year to date. Fatalities were at 26, which is a 37% increase over year to date comparison to 2020. Manchester accounts for 2. Hampstead accounts for 8. Sykesville accounts for 3, Tawnytown accounts for 11, Mount Airy accounts for 6, Westminster is 50, New Windsor is 2, and Union Bridge is 0. And the rest of those numbers are outside of the jurisdictions of the municipality. That's about it. That's all I have. The report's short. Things are still going good in town. It's just our traffic problem. I really wish we could get that under control.
Okay, Chief, thank you very much.
Questions? Anybody? I'm out. Kelly, stand strong.
And before we go any further, I'd like to take a moment to welcome the 2 newest council members, Mr. David Richardson and Mr. Chris Cuneo. Welcome. Next on the agenda is the approval of the April 13th, 2021 minutes.
All right, I'll make a motion. We approve the April 13th, 2021 minutes as submitted.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. And receipt of the April 2021 Treasurer's Report and then May 2021 check register. do it separately.
separately. I make a motion that we receive the April 2021 Treasurers Report.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the May 2021 check register.
I'll make a motion, we receive the May 2021 check register.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mayor's report, yard waste pickup on Wednesdays through November. Just as a reminder, yard waste consists of grass clippings, leaves, and small branches not in excess of 3 feet and/or 4 inches in diameter. Branches must be bundled in armful loads. Yard waste should not be mixed with mulch, dirt, or any residential refuse, including pest waste. Residents should place lawn waste curbside on Thursday evening for Friday's pickup.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I know. I'm reading this. This needs to be corrected. Correction on that, Tuesday night for Wednesday's pickup. All yard waste must be placed in large craft paper bags or in a container to be dumped, no plastic bags. Water bills will be mailed before July 1st. Please look for them in the mail. We want to congratulate Trent Longest, who is the recipient of the 2021 Charlotte B. Collette Memorial Scholarship. Congratulations, Trent.
Thank you very much.
We also want to congratulate Alyssa Smith, who was given a 2021 Student Recognition Award. And the fire department will be having a Father's Day barbecue carry-out dinner on June 18th and June 19th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. For more information, go to their website at manchestervfd.org. That would be it. Public Works report.
Got it. Okay, good evening, Town Council. Please see the provided water and wastewater data report for May 2021. Next, we had a stormwater management NPDES, which stands for National Pollution Discharge Elimination System, training session. This was held on May 20th and here in the Town Hall. This was for our town staff. This is a mandatory requirement in accordance with our MDE permits. We have 2 of them actually. And this is an annual requirement. York Street Water Tower, we received antenna modification drawings from AT&T and T-Mobile in April. This is for our review. We're still reviewing them, and our on-call engineer is also reviewing them as well. I arranged a pre-approval meeting with both carriers and all parties involved on June 15th, 2021.
Rodney, can you speak into that?
I'm sorry.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, for water, the Park Avenue tank rehab, work began mid-April and is going very well. You may have seen some of the work going on. Completion date remains on or before June 30th, 2021. Outside contractor K&K Painting Incorporated. Wastewater, the wastewater treatment plant ultraviolet system upgrade phase 2 continues to move forward. Completion date expected mid-October. Outside contractor Swam Electric. The wastewater treatment plant ENR upgrade and optional expansion, preliminary engineer report. The PER draft report is currently delayed due to potential new limits that may be added to our treatment plant discharge permit. This proposed new limit will require additional time and effort in order to complete the PER. And again, this is on hold, and we're waiting on a response from MDE to a letter that Steve actually sent out, and I think you were copied with it. We're still waiting on comments from them before we move forward. Town parks, mowing and mulching operations continue. Stormwater management and road maintenance, stormwater management, inlet cleaning, and street sweeping operations are ongoing. I have no action items for tonight, and that's all I have. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Any questions for Rodney?
One quick one. Rodney, it looks like we're doing an average of about roughly 40,000 gallons more a day this past month than we were the month before. Can we attribute that to anything? Do we have a leak? Is it people watering their lawns? Are we washing cars? I mean, I'm sure there's some pool filling, even though it's not supposed to happen. But that just seems like a lot of water.
The answer is yes to all your points that you pointed out. We attribute it to lawns, washing cars, maybe pool filling also, and we have been looking for leaks aggressively for the past couple of months. And actually, we found a really good leaker today. So
Okay.
we feel that they may be it. We'll know in a couple days.
Okay.
Rodney, pool filling still prohibited in town?
Technically, yes.
Anything else? I want to apologize to Steve. I forgot how to read for a moment and skipped right over you. I apologize.
I usually blend in, anyway, so no problem.
Now the town administrator report.
Good evening, council members. You have in front of you the May 2021 administrative report. Under pending items, the opioid litigation, we were notified on May 24th that our claim is still pending in the Purdue bankruptcy case. AT&T mobility lease agreement update, we're still in negotiations with them. The 3215 Long Lane property, of course, that's an action item on our agenda tonight. Rodney alluded to the wastewater treatment plant discharge draft permit update, and I did copy everyone on that letter that was forwarded to MDE with our concerns. The Citadel Skateboarding Foundation Summer Camp update. A facility use indemnity and hold harmless agreement was sent to the foundation on June the 2nd. I have heard nothing back from them. I actually looked at their camp dates today, and I believe their first date is July the 17th, if I'm not mistaken. So we passed information on to them in regards to background checks for their people. Under code enforcement, you have the code enforcement update in front of you, which is a new format. Michelle worked on that and did a fine job. 3201 Main Street, this is the #1 North building. The owners were served paperwork on or around June the 1st. We do have a meeting set, and this is a change in date from 6/15. The new date is 6/17. So we're going to meet with the owners on that piece of property. About the condition of the building.
I was told the other day that the Tree of Friends is moving in there.
I did not hear that.
That's what I was told the other day.
It could be the building across the, next door across York Street.
They said where #1 North was,
Okay, okay.
just so you know.
Could be. We'll be, once we talk to the owners, we'll find out more. So,
Okay.
3395 Main Street. This is the Rohrbach Bus Company depot. The MDE inspection was carried out on June the 3rd. We're going to have an internal staff meeting scheduled. Again, we're going to schedule that on 6/17 and not 6/15 to discuss this property in regards to the numerous issues that they do have. We're concerned about stormwater runoff. We're concerned about the number of untagged vehicles. We're concerned about the number of trailers sitting there. We're concerned what's in the trailer. We're concerned about the old junk buses that are sitting there. So there's a whole list of items that we want to discuss internally before we move forward. Under miscellaneous items, the Civil War Trail sign will be relocated to in front of the Historical Center on June the 16th. And this was a Civil War's trail sign that was actually located off of Route 27, then moved to the Park and Ride, which it's been hit numerous times. And the Civil War Trails folks asked me, and I said, I think it would look pretty nice in front of our Historical Center near our memorial. And that's where they agreed to that, so that's going to happen on the 16th. Staff is currently working on updates to the fee structure in numerous sections of the town code. You do have in front of you a draft copy which refers to ordinance number 248. And I want you to look at that. I just gave it to you to look at, and I'll tell you how this came about. And for our attorney, this is good information for Tom also. We received a complaint about speeding on one of our smaller streets, which was Water Street, right off of Christmas Tree Lane. And as you can see, our code number 220 talks about all town-controlled roads except as noted. And you can see the streets that are noted on there and the certain miles per hour that's designated to that street. So we ran some tests on that street, and 20 miles an hour is just too fast for Water Street. I mean, it's just too fast. And I verified that with the police department, and they agree. So if that has to be changed, we would put an addition in Water Street at 15 miles an hour. Kelly did a good job. She mocked this ordinance up, but we may want to think about, I'm looking over at our town attorney on this, I'm looking at possibly doing something generically, where we wouldn't have to go back in and spend the money to do an ordinance, spend the money to codify it. I mean, you can run into some bucks. So, till we're all said and done, to make Water Street 15 mile an hour, it's gonna run us a couple $1,000s from start to finish. So maybe we could wordsmith this a little bit, where we don't have to come back each time and have the council change this around. So, that's where we're at on that. Are there some streets in town that are not posted? Yes, there are. I mean, Forest Street, the problem we had with Water Street, it wasn't posted, wasn't any sign out there. Yeah, the smaller roads, the smaller streets, maybe Wilhelm Lane's not posted till we get back toward the nature center. But, we run into this area, so that's something we're working on. I just wanted to bring it to your attention on that. Also, one of the last things I have, and it's not on my report to you folks, is you probably recall several months ago, I talked about a complaint that we received from a citizen in regards to the crosswalks in town. And SHA has come out. They were doing work at the crosswalk at Route 30 and 27, and today, until the rain came, they were working at York Street, Westminster Street, and Main Street right there. So they're enhancing that crosswalk to make it easier for pedestrians to see. So that's it. Any questions for me?
Hey, Steve, one question I have. I know a few years back, I guess we kind of discontinued the mailing of the newsletter. And I know, especially based on this last election, a lot of people said the reason why, people didn't express an interest was just because they didn't know what was going on. I don't know, have you guys given any thought to maybe getting that? I know you still put that out online on the website, which is good. It's a good place for information. Maybe emailing that out and getting a database together and emailing that out to some residents just to try to cultivate some more participation and some more, I'm happy to help you guys or work with you guys.
What we could do is, I'm looking over at Kelly, what we could do is we could put a blurb, on cable or on our Facebook page
Gather
or
up
on
some
the town website. And, if you're interested in receiving, the copy of the Oak Notes, give us your email address and we can go
Yeah, it'd be
from there.
good to.
There are residents in town that do not use, the electronic.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. You'll see a lot of people like that.
Tracy keeps a list in the office. I'd say there's probably about 25 or more who had asked to have it mailed to them.
Really, okay.
So we could do a combination of all of it.
Yeah, I'd like to work with you guys and just to improve the communication among some of the residents to get the word out, so.
I have suggested that we put out a calendar.
Sure,
Also
absolutely.
with activities and dates on there, if that water bills are due and things like elections and things like that, so
Yeah,
I
and
think it's
maybe,
in
I don't even know if we could.
budget for that.
Yeah, I mean, I could also help with some of the local businesses and maybe get some sponsorships in there, cultivate some communication a little bit better. Because I think this election showed us that, I think there's a lack of engagement, and I think we need to cultivate some more engagement from our residents. So I'm happy to lead that effort to help participate in that, so.
Very good.
Anything else? Okay, we're going to move into discussion of Patriots Overlook Annexation Agreement. Tom, do you want to fill us in on what's transpired over the last month?
I apologize for the microphone's going off a little white noise. Maybe once I hit the red button, I guess. This is back before you all from last month. There's only one change that was made from,
Can we switch?
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Back before you is the annexation from last month. There was only one change from what you had before you last month at the suggestion of the council. It's in section 5.5. I think I provided a red line version to show you in addition to the final agreed upon documents, at least subject to your approval, of course. And that has to do with the clustering. The one issue was to change the language that said words to the effect that the town reserves the right to prohibit clustering to an affirmative statement that says there shall be no clustering with this development. That language I drafted in accordance with the council's instruction. I did provide it to council for the applicant or the petitioner. It was accepted by them, and so we have sort of the final documents now before you for your consideration and vote if that's the council's choosing tonight.
So for the newer members, that was the sticking point. Everything was looking very good except the clustering thing, and we got that squared away. So it's up to you guys if you want to take time to consider it, or we can move on it tonight. It's up to everybody here.
I'm fine to move on it if you're ready.
Okay. Well, we can take a motion to either allow it or deny it, or table it. Just because I'm sitting here, I can still make a motion, correct? Or do I have to maintain some kind of neutrality?
Have you all formally adopted Robert's Rules of Order, or are you sort of loosely following it? I suspect it's the latter. And if it's
Probably.
the case, then I think you can make a motion as the chair.
Okay. Because I got what I wanted in regard to this annexation. So I will make a motion that the town council approve annexation resolution 40-20 relating to the petition to annex the Patriots Overlook property under the conditions set forth in the annexation resolution and annexation agreement, and that the annexation agreement attached to the resolution be executed by the petitioner within 30 days. If the annexation agreement is not signed by petitioner within 30 days, the approval of annexation resolution 40-20 shall be null and void.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Think the motion carries? Did I hear it correctly? It's hard with these partitions here. Any nays?
No.
Nay?
Okay. All right, then it passes. Okay, we will move on to discussion of offer to buy the old police station at 3215 Long Lane. Steve or Kelly, can you update us on that?
Okay, I will. Selling a piece of government property is like selling your firstborn, but I've learned a lot of things through this process. I have in the audience our realtor, Dave Straitman, and I have to rely on our attorney and our realtor on this. So as I've been bringing you up to date, we listed the property at 149.5. We had a very interested party. They came in at 125,911. We countered that offer at 139,911, and they came back with an offer of 131,500, which both myself and the realtor feel that that's a fair price for that structure. A couple things that fall into play. I will now turn it over to our town attorney to walk you through this, which opens up something else that we need to discuss about the property.
Sure. So under state code and by extension our charter, in order to sell real property of the town, we have to provide 20 days advance notice that we're going to do that, hold a public hearing, and then pass a resolution authorizing essentially entry into a contract and then ultimately the sale of the property. Obviously the timing would be such that if you were so inclined, that would be before you in a public hearing next month, and then perhaps on the agenda for a vote on the resolution at that time as well. So that's
Correct.
basically the legal process. And then thereafter, of course, a contract would be entered into and all of that. The resolution would set the price and essentially say that it's subject to terms to be negotiated and a formal contract to be entered into.
So where we are at, believe me, people were not beating our door down to look at that piece of property. We have a very interested party that's interested in the property. They would like to move into that piece of property immediately. So one of the things that both Tom and I and Dave talked about, well, could we lease them the property until the resolution is passed and move forward with the sale? At this time, that would be my recommendation to you, to go with the $131,500 price, but then also lease the property to them for $1 a month, you know, that they can move forward. That being said, during a public hearing, unless George Washington might have slept in that building, I don't think you will hear any issues come up during a public hearing that somebody would find fault in us selling that building. That building was formerly a garage. We purchased the building back in the 70s, I believe, for $12,000 or a little bit more. It was used as a police department, and that's what it was used for. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, and the only thing I would add from a legal perspective is obviously when you lease and allow occupancy prior to sale, there's always risk. If things fall through, once in, it's hard to have a tenant leave. So it's up to you to decide whether that's an acceptable risk, given where we have been with the property, its sale, and where it seems to be heading. But I'd be remiss if I didn't point that out.
Couple questions. How long was the property listed? How long did you have it
Dave,
listed for?
we probably had that listed for at least 4 months.
Okay. And you say the original listing price was $149, and you've settled $131 or so? Yes. $131,500. Are those funds they just go into the general fund for the town, or are they earmarked to anywhere in particular? It'd be a general fund? Okay. And your recommendation is to lease it, so as long as this process would go, it could be as long as 3 months or so, correct? At bare minimum.
Yeah, correct. I mean, I don't want to leave the impression that passage of the resolution ends it. You still have to enter in a contract. There'll be a closing date. It won't be long, but.
Sure.
Yeah.
And or the recommendation is just to lease it for $1?
Well, that was just, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
We could lease it for whatever the.
Whatever the fair market value would be, I think I'd be in.
And it would be probably applied to the,
Yeah, because I don't know if that, because I mean, that cover the insurance. The town should have expenses on that property, insurance, whatnot, for the time, for that.
which we
that few
would,
months.
yes. Mhm,
So,
correct.
as long as it would be, the town would cover their expenses, so I'd be in favor of that.
Two other things I want to bring to your attention. So, once we started doing the research on the property, we had to have some deed work done. We took care of that. And I'm looking over at Tom because, as you recall, to the rear of the building, the ramp that goes into the historical center is also tied in to that other building, the former police department. So we're going to have to draw up a shared maintenance agreement on that ramp. So I don't feel that's a big problem, but, we have to make sure that we separate those buildings out. That's what we got into, so just keep that in mind.
Do we know what they're gonna use it for? Does it make a difference? But
It's a combination of business and residential. They're going to live there. They're going to operate a business there, which is approved. We ran that through our zoning administrator.
Okay.
And then they're also going to live there as a residential unit.
So in moving forward, are we looking for a motion to accept the offer
and then one for
and-
the lease.
and then a lease separate, or in one motion?
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably don't need a formal motion at this point. Just if there's a consensus and no strong objection, it would be to allow Steve and me to, proceed as outlined with the lease, the shared maintenance agreement, and then ultimately prepare up a resolution for your consideration the next time with that purchase price.
Yes, and that would come back to the group at the July meeting. Yes, correct.
Whatever,
Maybe August.
maybe.
Right,
I mean, I'll make a motion to empower the administration to proceed with that. As long, as I said, as long as expenses are,
Or met.
in any lease,
Right.
are taken care of,
Correct.
so.
And I'll second it if we're going
Any,
that route.
any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay.
okay, very good.
Manchester Happenings Committee update, Melissa Rowe. Come on up. Yes.
Yeah, we moved it on you.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I am Melanie Van Domlin. I'm speaking for Melissa. She had a rough day with her kids, so she stayed home. But I am speaking on behalf of Manchester Happenings, and I'm not sure if everybody here knows about us, but we're just a quick rundown. We formed a group about a couple years ago with our intention of just livening up the town as much as we can and coming up with events and broadcasting events and just teaming up with anything in our town, basically, just to kind of bring more to our residents. I would say that we have really done well. This last year has been a bummer because we had events that we wanted to do and couldn't, obviously, because of COVID. But we did an Easter egg scramble the first year, which went super well. And then we did a fall festival, which went really well. And we were asked by the fire department to collaborate and do a fall fest / mini carnival kind of thing this October. So we're going ahead with the plans. It's gonna be the first weekend of October. We have like a few things that we are trying to tweak with it, and any advice that you guys would have. I tried to get a hold of Chief Hess before I came tonight, just to kind of have his blessing, I guess, in a sense. We're looking to do some kind of beer garden type thing and help promote and bring in local breweries and vineyards and such. But we want it to be a very family-based event, so we're hoping that if we can make it work with the breweries and stuff, that will kind of, it'll be nicer alcohol, basically, so hopefully it'll keep out like riffraff. So we're just trying to figure out how and if we can make that happen. I was gonna try to talk to Chief Hess. We've talked to the fire department about it, so we're just trying to come up with ideas for that. We just thought that it would, bring more people in. We have a band set to come in, the Reagan years. We're 99% on having them finalized. We're just waiting on some other legalities, but.
Where were you planning on having the beer garden?
So that's kind of what we're thinking. So we talked with the fire department. The whole event's gonna be over at the carnival grounds.
Okay.
And we're trying to figure out if we need to just fence in a specific beer garden, which is fine, but we were wondering if there was a way that it could be like a stroll kind of thing, that people can just kind of enjoy the festival with their kids and have a wine. But we're just not sure of all the, ins and
Not a
outs of
problem. I
that.
just wanted to make sure it wasn't in the parks because we have a no alcohol policy
Yeah,
in the
no.
parks.
And the fire department said that they would be happy to use their liquor license.
Okay.
So I think we kind of went in the direction of just doing a fenced-off beer garden. And
cool.
I think we were talking about over, like, right behind the new lemonade stand, kind of by the stage, doing it there so people can still see the band. So we're fine with that, but we just didn't know. Like, we looked at Westminster and they have a, what is it called? What is it?
Beer and wine stroll.
Yeah, like a beer and wine stroll where you can kind of stroll along, and we're just wondering if, that would be possible. I just think it would, people with kids who are coming to do some rides and then want to enjoy a band, I don't know if, like, I personally would want to go sit in a beer garden while, my kids are out. But, that's, just one of the things we're kicking around.
Have you reached out to the liquor board with that question?
No.
Because they are they're fantastic if you call and just ask them questions about it, like, this is what we're thinking.
Yes.
They'll be able to give you feedback, they'll be able to tell you exactly what the requirements,
Perfect.
even if you're using their liquor license, the fire department's liquor license,
Right.
they'd be able to say, these are the parameters that you have to abide by.
Perfect. That was our next thing we were throwing around. We were all talking today about it, like, I don't know, I think we can maybe check into something. So, but that's, the one part of it, but we're just looking to really kind of just make up for the carnival not happening, because that's a huge crunch to all of us. So we just want to offer, you know, a really just fun family event. So any like support that we get from you guys would be awesome. We'll keep you in the loop of everything. And, you know, any direction that you can give us is awesome, because we're still figuring this out, but it's going well. We just wanted to kind of surface back up and let y'all know that we are like full steam ahead. So, and we are, I'm just gonna throw this out there too, we'll keep you in the loop, but we're teaming up with Coppermine and Outrageous Camps. They're gonna be doing a Christmas light walkthrough in the old Cascade Lake. So we're gonna kind of team up with them and try to get a big event there, get the fire department up there with Santa on it. And so that'll be another big event that we're gonna kind of back up. So we'd love everybody to be a part of it,
Excellent.
for sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Tell you what, we love your enthusiasm, and
Oh, we're on a
really,
mission.
you know, on behalf of everyone here, this town needs a signature event. We
Yeah,
really do.
I
We've-
agree.
We've lacked a signature event, something
I
to
agree.
promote. This town's a really special place.
I
And we
so
need
agree.
something to hang our hat on.
I feel
And,
like
you
might
know,
be
on behalf of
top.
everyone up
That's-
here, we definitely appreciate your
That's
enthusiasm.
exactly our vision, and that's exactly our point. And we're kind of hoping this Fall Fest might be a nice little twist and add like a mini carnival to it, because I don't know a lot of people that do that. And, you know, some people might be summer carnivaled out, so Fall Fest might be cool. And kind of piggybacking on what you guys were saying with the calendar, we have a page going, we have a ton of people that follow our page just for events. If you guys have anything that you want us to put out there in the community, we might be able to hit some more people that you don't, and vice versa. So we're happy to, this is what we're here for. We adore this town, and we just want to have staple things for it, so.
And she
Well,
kind of,
patch me in, I'm happy to help and, you know, get
Thanks.
involved, and I mean,
Thanks.
my background is in
She-
promotion and advertising, so.
she
Thank
kind of
you. Happy to help.
downplayed the Easter egg hunt. There was hundreds,
Thousands, I think.
thousands
It was,
of people. I've never seen
Oh, no,
Christmas
we
park
were-
that full.
we
It was
were
insane.
a little bit like, oh my God. But I think, like you said, this town wants this. We don't want to go to Westminster. We don't want to go to Hampstead. This town is special, and we want people to stay here, and we want to bring people in. So no, I give most of the credit for the egg scramble on the fact that the town just really wanted it, but that's what the fire department said. They're like, we really want you guys to come along, because good Lord, you can get your mouth, we run our mouth a lot, so we get people coming, so, but that's what it's for. It's just for this town. We love it. We don't make money on it. We drive ourselves crazy sometimes because we're juggling our kids everywhere, but it's our passion. It really is. So, thanks for your support. I feel it. We feel it, so we're not
We'll
going
get there.
anywhere.
We'll get there, we
Right.
promise.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. We'll keep you posted.
Any comments or questions from the community? No? Nothing? Okay. Typically, we do committee reports at this time. I think had a discussion with the mayors to feel comfortable in not doing that, since we may have some new committee assignments. I know he wants to get to that this month. However, if somebody has, Deborah or Jen, if you have something to report, I have nothing to report in regard to the North Carroll Business Alliance.
The only thing I have is we did receive Banner City
Yes.
recognition. We are one of, I think it was 47. It was in the mid to upper 40s towns that received it. So not as many as in the past.
47.
I think 47, yep. One of the 47 that got it.
Deborah?
Nothing, we didn't have a meeting last night, so I have nothing.
And Trent, is this your last meeting?
It will be my last one, so you're like, we're gonna skip it. I was like, hey, I got something to say this time. A little bit. Yeah, time escaped me today because the seniors are out officially. So, but I got here. I got something prepared. If you would like me to
Yes, I
share
would.
that now.
Yes.
So obviously for those still in school, they have their finals, but I believe for the most part they should be finishing those up. When it comes to athletics, there's a fall sports interest meeting for fall sports that are actually going to happen in the fall, to my knowledge, this year, which will be real nice for people to have full seasons this next year. Recently, the track and field team set records, school records in all the 800, 1600, and 3200 meters. The tennis team had an 8-1 record this season, which was their best in school history. When it comes to community stuff, the seniors are gone now. People are sending back their materials. When it comes to school laptops, I hope that's going well for everyone, because those laptops were a little small, so I know a lot of people probably just stuffed them in a closet somewhere, and now they're like, okay, where did I put this? So hopefully that works out for everyone. This Friday, everyone's wearing their class spirit wear. There's internships for, I believe, the rising seniors for Flowers and Fancies in Owings Mills and for the Carroll Republican Victory PAC. There's only 5 more days for school, and just for my closing piece for my last meeting, I just want to go on a little more. I want to thank everyone for working with me, and it's been a pleasure working with everyone. I'm a little sad I didn't get, to my knowledge, to work much with Mr. Richards and Mr. Cuneo, but if you are anything like the people I've met over the past few years, I trust this town will stay in good hands. I feel like I've grown and changed a lot through these past 30 meetings or so that I said in reports or just sat in for them, from the frightened sophomore who back in 2018 got called out on his first meeting as, "Listen here, young man, I got a story to tell," by one of the community members. And now I'm a slightly less frightened senior. So this will always be a special building for me, and I hope to stay in touch as I find someone who can hopefully do a better job than I. And we'll also learn words like annexation and lease, and hopefully not have to hear as much of traffic and speeding, at least as often as I did. So once again, thank you for the past 3 years, and I hope it goes well from here.
Thank you very much, Trent.
Right.
You
Thank
were a
you.
joy. Anything else? Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. We had that here in the Christmas Tree Park a couple months ago. It was nice to finally have it in person, as restricted as we necessarily took it.
All right, our next town council meeting will be Tuesday, July 13th at 7:30. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Make a motion, we adjourn?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Very good. Thank you, everyone.